Find the area of a square whose diagonal is 5 feet longer than a side. Whenever we have a problem that deals with a geometric figure, such as a square in this case, a very good first step is just to sketch that figure. And then we don't know really any lengths at all, so let's just call one of the sides S. Now if we call one of the sides S, the only information we're given is that the diagonal is 5 feet longer than a side. So if we sketch a diagonal, we can label that S plus 5. Now if you'll see, since this is a square, we actually have a right triangle, and we can use the Pythagorean equation in order to get a translation, which is the next step, of the problem into math. If this side is S and we have a square, this side is also S. And by the Pythagorean equation, we have S squared plus S squared equals S plus 5 squared. To carry out, we solve this for S now. We have 2S squared equals, and squaring this, we have S squared plus 10s plus 25, and subtracting 2s, or moving all of this over to here, we subtract s squared from both sides, we have s squared. We subtract 10s from both sides, we have minus 10s. We subtract 25 from both sides, we have minus 25, and that equals 0. We can use the quadratic formula now to solve this for S. We have A is 1, B is negative 10, and C is negative 25. Using the quadratic formula, we have S equals the opposite of B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C. Draw a line there. And that's all over 2A, or 2 times 1. Simplifying, we have S equals the opposite of negative 10 is 10, plus or minus the square root of negative 10 squared is 100. 4 times 1 times negative 25 is negative 100. And that's all over 2. 100 plus 100 will be 200. So we have S equals 10 plus or minus the square root of 200 over 2. And then 200 is 10 times the square root of 2. So we have 10 plus or minus 10 square root of 2 all over 2. We can divide 10 by 2 and 10 by 2 to give us 5 plus 5 square root of 2, or 5 minus 5 square root of 2. Now it turns out that 5 minus 5 times the square root of 2 is a negative number, and in this case we can't have a negative side of a square. So 5 plus 5 times the square root of 2 will be the side of the square. We're asked to find the area of the square, so we can state the area of the square is the side squared, which is 5 plus 5 times the square root of 2 squared. If we multiply this out, we get 75 plus 50 times the square root of 2, and approximating, that would be 145.71 square feet.